Hey, welcome back to my channel. Shakila here, Nurse Gray. Today we will talk about how to succeed in life and how to get your brain to focus with just 3 quick tips. God would have never put that dream in your heart if he didn't want you to succeed. So the first tip will be to be purposeful. Now, this can mean a myriad of reasons, but we're going to dive into what I mean right now. Being purposeful, for instance, you can say you are yearning for a job that is of purpose for you. It could be wanting to own a home and becoming a homeowner, or simply getting a B in a class that you've been having consistent D's in. What I want to tell you is, first, you need to write it down and make it plain. Somewhere it says that in the Bible. I don't know the specific verse or even the chapter of the book, but somewhere in the Bible it says to write it down and make it plain. And so when you do that, you are putting your thoughts and your ideas on paper, and you are bridging a gap between something that is an idea and having something that's tangible. So you're bridging that gap between the two by making it plain. Now, you can do this in a couple different ways. You can recite a poem, you can recite a mantra, you can create a vision board. If you go to my prior video, a couple videos back, it's called The Power of Self-Discipline. I will link it in the cards above me. If you were to look at these different ways, you're gearing up your brain to think in a specific way. And so you are telling yourself, you are intrinsically, is that the word? Internally telling yourself that you desire X, Y, and Z. And if you see this X, Y, and Z on a daily basis, maybe before you go to bed, maybe when you wake up in the morning, you could have little sticky notes, put it on your mirror, so when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you can read those things. Anybody ever seen Being Mary Jane? Now, I know that series is a little controversial depending on who you are as a person, but it's actually a really good show with Gabrielle Union in it. Came out, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago or something along those lines, but it's very good. And so you'll see throughout the show that she has these sticky notes posted on her mirror, and she says these things or sees things that she wants in her life, and she'll say them out loud. And throughout the show, you'll see some things happen and some things don't. But the idea of the practice is to literally write it all out, what you want, what you desire in life, and make it plain so that it's not any chance of it being misunderstood, right? Look at them daily, create a routine, tell yourself that it will come to pass. You have to believe it. Just because your tongue says it doesn't mean your brain will hear it and understand it and comprehend it. No, you internally have to believe what you're saying, what you're putting out. And then conversely, you have to put out positivity. Now, I'm not saying you have to be positive, happy-go-lucky every single second of every single day. No, because we're human. We have a bunch of emotions that we experience. Probably every hour, we experience different types of emotion. But if you put out positivity, positive thinking, positive energy, positive behavior, then those things will come back to you. Those things will attract you. And I think it's called like the law of attraction or law of reciprocity, the law of reciprocity or the law of attraction. And so you will then begin to see things that are in alignment with what your beliefs are and how you feel in your purpose in life. Lean in. This quote here is something to think about. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. I don't know where I got that from. I read it somewhere, or maybe I heard it somewhere in a podcast or one of my millions of books. But change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Come on now. Come on, somebody. Okay, so you gotta set those intentions, and like I said, think positive. It doesn't mean you will ignore the negative things, but it means that you will have a means of approach to figuring out how to go about handling those things that are negative, how to go about handling them and being positive and productive when it comes to handling those things that may not be as positive or as fruitful. The next tip is do your research. No matter if it's for a job, if it's for a a exam, if it's for a paper, if it's for school, if it's for whatever, jot down a to-do list, jot down tasks and check boxes, and utilize colored pens or highlighters or markers to notate your tasks. This is how you're going to stay on track and keep up with whatever that list of items is that you have to accomplish. A certain amount of time to then accomplish that task. You don't want to spend, if your work hours are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., you don't want to spend the entire 9 hours doing something dealing with that one specific task. Have blocks in place, time limits on specific things. For instance, you can utilize this if you're studying. So if you are in college or in high school and you have 4 or 5 different classes that you have to prepare for, have exams and study guides and all of these things, have blocks of time for each one of those, but then give yourself breaks in the middle of them, and don't spend so much time the entire day wasted away on one class and rereading notes and rewriting notes and listening to the auditory lecture and all these things. No, the more you hear items, the more you hear things, yes, that will help you to learn the material, but it's not going to do you justice if you're sitting there and trying to dump everything into your head right then, and not giving your brain a rest, not giving your brain a break. You want to create a strategy. And you can do this even if you're not in school. So if you have a position where you have to create a marketing tool, if you have to create a proposal for your employer, if you are the point person or the contact person for this new project and you're not a project manager, you want to do your research on whatever it is that you have to present on, and then you have to organize those items into things that make sense so that it flows well, and you're not spending so much time dealing with this one specific task when you have 7 or 8 other things that you should be doing in conjunction with that one thing that you've been spending 8 and 9 hours on. Your tip for me is probably the most important to me. It is cultivating self-love. Now, we can be the hardest on ourselves. We can be extremely, extremely hard. You do not want to self-sabotage yourself and critique yourself so much that you are blocking your blessings and stopping you from being great and creating the joy in the world that the world needs from you. Don't let that inner critic sabotage your future self or distract you from being great, because that can happen. So you want to tell that person to go ahead, sit down. I was gonna say to the left, but that's actually my right. Tell them go ahead and sit to the left, go sit on the sidelines, watch you work, watch you do great, watch you do what you do. Because if not, you're going to sit there and hold on to all of those hard negative feelings that you have towards yourself, and you're going to block your blessings. I know, trust me, it happens on a daily to many people. I'm just here spreading the word, spreading the message, letting y'all know that this is a real occurrence. This is a real thing that happens. And you got to be on the lookout for it when it does happen. Forgive yourself. Listen, we all make mistakes. We all dibble and dabble in some things that we regret. Forgive yourself for making those decisions, for behaving in a way you have behaved in the past, for lying on your friend, for cheating on your spouse, for cheating on an exam, for whatever the case is. Forgive yourself. If you hold on to those mistakes and those past regrets, what it's doing is it's stopping you and hindering you from moving past it and growing and developing into the person that you truly are desired to be and designed to be by our Lord and Savior above. If you're riding a bike for the first time, you're not going to know how to ride that bike. When you fall off, get your butt back up, hop back on the pedestal, ride until you can figure it out. You'll have someone there. You may have someone coaching. You may just be doing it on your own. Whatever the case may be, don't let your failings stop you from being great and make you feel inadequate and then treat yourself as such. Treat yourself inadequate and not having that compassion and that care and that love for yourself. You may be giving all this compassion and all this love to someone else, to your husband, to your children, to your mom, to your parents, your in-laws, to the people at your job. You may be giving all this love to someone else, and then you think it's okay to kind of leave yourself hanging, and now you don't have enough energy to even care for yourself, to show yourself that that you're in love with yourself. Be understanding with yourself, forgive yourself, and understand that people make mistakes, but you can't dwell on the past. You got to own it, take accountability, take responsibility, wash your hands of it, throw it up to God, and keep going, baby. Keep moving. Along those lines, y'all, don't sell yourself short. Don't think that you must compare your self-worth to someone else's self-worth. Especially on social media, I know it has continuously and probably will continuously boom for the next few years to decades. Don't sell yourself short and think, well, yeah, I made $1,000 this month in my entrepreneurship business, but I looked online and now somebody just said they made $20,000 or they made $50,000. You don't know how they got there. You don't know if they've been in the game 5 years before you. You don't know if they have assistance, and now you may have been doing all the work by yourself to get that $1,000. But that person online that you have just seen may have had a team of 3 people, and that's why he or she's bringing in $5,000 a month. You don't know that. So don't compare yourself to others and doubt yourself and think that you are not worthy of success, or you are not worthy of the power within you, because baby, you have it all. You have it all, okay? We each have our own gifts and our talents. And so what I encourage you to do is speak to your family members, right? Have them write a list of things that they think you are talented in and you are beautiful at. And then read those items and see how your friends and family think of you. See why they care so much about you and why they love you so much. And then maybe you can stop selling yourself short. Maybe you can stop sabotaging yourself and giving yourself the self-love that you truly, truly do desire and need. Oftentimes, our friends and families will see things in us that we may not see even in ourselves. And that happens on a daily basis. Spread love, spread kindness. Guys, I'm going to take a little piece out of Ellen's book, Spread Love, Spread Kindness. Be there for one another, love yourself, and love God first and foremost. Hallelujah. Y'all already know what it is. Go ahead and go over to ifrn.org. We got this donation page set up. Go ahead and support our young women of color in the state of Georgia who want to become a nurse. We are giving away $1,000 to 10 deserving young women here in the state who are pursuing their nursing degree. Y'all, what you waiting for? I'm going to put it up here. All right.